U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken met on Monday with Chinese President Xi Jinping and said they agreed to stabilize badly deteriorated U.S. China ties, but America's top diplomat left Beijing with his biggest ask rebuffed: better communications between their militaries. After meeting Xi, Blinken said China is not ready to resume military-to-military contacts, something the U.S. considers crucial to avoid miscalculation and conflict, particularly over Taiwan. Still, China's main diplomat for the Western Hemisphere, Yang Tao, said he thought Blinken's visit to China marks a new beginning. The U.S. side is surely aware of why there is difficulty in military-to-military exchanges, he said, blaming the issue squarely on U.S. sanctions, which Blinken said revolved entirely around threats to American security. Yet Blinken and Xi pronounced themselves satisfied with progress made during the 2 days of talks. Without pointing to specific areas of agreement beyond a mutual decision to return to a broad agenda for cooperation and competition endorsed last year by Xi and President Joe Biden at a summit in Bali. And it remained unclear if those understandings can resolve their most important disagreements, many of which have international implications. Still, both men said they were pleased with the outcome of the highest-level U.S. visit to China in 5 years. The two sides expressed a willingness to hold more talks. But there was little indication that either is prepared to bend from positions on issues including trade, Taiwan, human rights conditions in China and Hong Kong, Chinese military assertiveness in the South China Sea, and Russia's war in Ukraine. Blinken said later that the U.S. set limited objectives for the trip and achieved them. He told reporters before leaving for a Ukraine reconstruction conference in London that he had raised the issue of military-to-military communications, repeatedly. "It is absolutely vital that we have these kinds of communications," he said. "This is something we're going to keep working on." The U.S. has said that, since 2021, China has declined or failed to respond to over a dozen requests from the Department of Defense for top-level dialogues. According to a transcript of the meeting with Blinken, Xi said he was pleased with the outcome of Blinken's earlier meetings with top Chinese diplomats and said restarting the Bali agenda were of great importance. "The Chinese side has made our position clear, and the two sides have agreed to follow through the common understandings President Biden and I had reached in Bali," Xi said. That agenda had been thrown into jeopardy in recent months, notably after the U.S. shot down a Chinese surveillance balloon over its airspace in February, and amid escalated military activity in the Taiwan Strait and the South China Sea. Combined with other disputes over human rights, trade and opiate production, the list of problem areas is daunting. For more, subscribe to 24 Hour Radio News.